There's a new battleground state, Texas, and it has 38 electoral college votes. And the way that we put it in play was by going to each one of those 254 counties. No matter how red or rural, we did not write you off. No matter how blue or urban, we did not take you for granted. Now we have a chance to beat Donald Trump with Texas.
1 year ago, Beto O'Rourke attempted to translate his close Senate race with Ted Cruz into a pathway to the presidency, but of course came up short. But his prediction about Texas becoming a battleground is ringing true. The first NBC News 2020 battleground electoral map shows Texas as a toss-up. And that could be a state where Joe Biden's running mate may spend time campaigning. Joining me now, former Congressman and presidential candidate Beto O'Rourke. Mr. O'Rourke, Congressman O'Rourke, it's great to see you. Thanks for being on the program tonight. Let's start there. You know, you tried to turn Texas blue against Ted Cruz. So many people thought it was the best chance because he was frankly, the left was very interested in seeing Ted Cruz defeated in addition to supporting you. You couldn't do it. What's changed between then and now?
Keep in mind that was a midterm year, which typically favors Republican turnout over Democratic turnout. And not only did I get within 2.5 points of Ted Cruz, we won more votes than any Democrat in history. 500,000 Republicans voted for Greg Abbott, the Republican for governor, and me for U.S. Senate. We won independence decisively and saw an overwhelming surge, up 500% of young voters from the last midterm election. In fact, Texas is not a red state, nor is it a blue state. It is a non-voting state. We had ranked until 2018 50th in voter turnout, not because we love democracy less, but it is the result of decades of voter suppression focused on black voters and brown voters in this state. What's changed since 2018 is, one, this is a presidential election cycle, which favors Democratic voter turnout. Two, you have the absolute train wreck of the Trump presidency, which has killed more than 162,000 of our fellow Americans, almost 8,900 of our fellow Texans. It's put kids in cages. It's lost the lives of 6 of them on the U.S.-Mexico border, and 23 people were slaughtered a year ago in my hometown because of Donald Trump calling immigrants an invasion, an infestation, describing them as animals and treating them as such. All of that is on the minds of Texas voters. And when you match that with a Democratic nominee like Joe Biden, who's focused on bringing this deeply divided country together again, he will become the first Democratic nominee since 1976 to claim the 38 electoral college votes in this state.
Well, it's a bold prediction. We're gonna save that one for the archives. We obviously here at NBC say that that is in fact entirely possible. Let me ask you, as we cover this vice presidential pick, there's a lot of focus on what a lot of women operatives out there have identified as sexism as the process has played out. And frankly, I heard from a lot of female operatives when you were running your presidential campaign that they were frustrated that you got a lot of attention and were very focused on early on in a way that they felt maybe some women candidates were not, and that you benefited from that. Did you feel like you experienced the sexism or understood the sexism that those women candidates faced based on the way you were treated?
Absolutely. This country is still sexist in the way that we treat women in America. I mean, look at it economically. Women are paid a fraction of what white men are paid in this country. African-American women are paid 61 cents on the dollar that a white man is paid. Latinas, 53 cents in this country today. And that carries through into our political process. And so you have in our politics right now the intersection of sexism, of racism, of these foundational structural problems that we have in America that have tended to favor white men. And I cannot be blind to that, even though I am a white man. So yes, that's at play right now. But thank God again for Joe Biden and the fact that he's committed to choosing a woman as his running mate. And he has so many extraordinary choices before him, from Karen Bass, with whom I worked in Congress, who I think is just an extraordinary leader, to Kamala Harris, who I got to know on the campaign trail, to Susan Rice, who has just exceptional foreign policy credentials and a really extraordinary career with the Obama administration, in addition to everything else that she's done beyond that. So I don't know that his choice of a woman as vice president corrects and fixes the sexism that is part of our politics, but it is certainly a strong step in the right direction.
Well, we're going to talk a little bit about that next as well, how things have changed and how they've stayed the same. Beto O'Rourke, thank you so much for your time tonight. I really appreciate it. We'll be right back with Kasie DC.